Welcome students to SV Union High School and Junior College. Standard 5 English Prose Lesson 21 The Journey to the Great Oz. The Wizard of Oz is a well-known fantasy of children's literature. It tells the story of Dorothy, who is whisked with her dog Toto by the cyclone to the wonderful land of Oz. There she meets the Tin Woodman, who needs a heart, the Scarecrow, who needs brains, and the Cowardly Lion, who needs bravery. They all want to see the Wizard of Oz, the only person who can help them. Here's an account of a part of their journey to the Emerald City of Oz, where the wizard lives. Read The Wizard of Oz to find out what happens next. The Wizard of Oz was written by Lyman Frank Baum, 1856 born, 1919 death. He has written many other books about Oz. This classic novel was also made into a movie. Summary: The Journey to the Great Oz is a classical novel for children written by Lyman Frank Baum, born on 1856 and died on 1990. This classical novel was also made into a movie. The story takes you into the world of fantasy of witches, wizards, monsters, and magic, where one imagines the impossible. The story revolves around Dorothy and her dog Toto, who are carried away by the cyclone to the land of Oz. There she meets Tin Wood, who needs a heart, the Scarecrow, who needs a brain, and a lion who needs bravery. The one who can fulfill their needs is the Wizard of Oz, who lives in the Emerald City of Oz. The four travelers began their journey and soon came to a great ditch. The lion carries each of the travelers to the other side of the ditch on his back. They continue traveling and soon come to a deeper ditch. The Scarecrow comes out with an idea to chop down a tree near the ditch. The Tin Woodman chops the tree, letting it to fall across the ditch. Somehow the four travelers reach the other side with the help of the tree bridge. As soon as they reach the other side, they are chased by some great beast, the Khalidas, with bodies like bears and heads like tigers. Scarecrow puts on his thinking cap and asks Tin Woodman to chop the end of the tree resting on their side. The tree crashes into the gulf, putting an end to the snarling beasts. The travelers resume walking, and soon they come to a broad river. Across the river, they can see the beautiful country of Oz. Introduction of the characters in the story. Dorothy is the girl who was whisked by the cyclone. She is whisked along with her dog Toto. Both of them landed in the wonderful land of Oz. She is friendly by nature. She is sweet and simple. Next character, Tin Woodman, has come to the wonderful land of Oz. He needs a heart. He knows only the Wizard of Oz can help him out. He helps in the journey to the land of Oz. He uses his axe to chop a tree to create a bridge for his friends. He also helps in putting an end to the snarling brutes. Third, the Scarecrow wants brain from the Wizard of Oz. He feels in lack of brains. He proves to be intelligent when he gives ideas to escape from difficulties. Fourth, the cowardly lion makes friends with Dorothy. He says that he lacks bravery. He wishes the Wizard of Oz to give him courage. Though he is a coward, he proves himself courageous in many situations and helps the others with them. The fifth is the Kalidas. These are the fierce beasts who would tear Dorothy, Toto, the lion, the scarecrow, and even the Tin Woodman to pieces if they got a chance. They had bodies like bears and head like tigers. Their claws were long and sharp, and they could tear you into pieces. Now we follow up the story by reading the textbook. This was an eventful day for the travelers. They had hardly been walking an hour when they saw before them a great ditch that crossed the road and divided the forest as far as they could see on either side. It was a very wide ditch, and when they crept up to the edge and looked into it, they could see it was also very deep, and there were mighty big jagged rocks at the bottom. The sides were so steep that none of them could climb down, and for a moment it seemed that their journey must end. What shall we do? Asked Dorothy despairingly. I haven't the faintest idea, said the Tin Woodman, and the lion shook his shaggy mane and looked thoughtful. But the scarecrow said, we cannot fly, that is certain. Neither can we climb down into this great ditch. Therefore, if we cannot jump over it, we must stop where we are. I think I could jump over it, said the cowardly lion, after measuring the distance carefully in his mind. Then we are all right, answered the scarecrow, for you can carry us all over on your back, one at a time. Well, I'll try it, said the lion. Who will go first? I will, declared the scarecrow. For if you found that you could not jump over the gulf, Dorothy would be killed or the Tin Woodman badly dent on the rocks below. But if I am on your back, it will not matter so much, for the fall would not hurt me at all. I am terribly afraid of falling myself, said the cowardly lion, but I suppose there is nothing to do but try it. So get on my back and we will make the attempt. The scarecrow sat upon the lion's back, and the biggest beast walked to the edge of the gulf and crouched down. Why don't you run and jump? Asked the scarecrow. Because that isn't the way we lions do these things, he replied. Then, giving a great spring, he shot through the air and landed safely on the other side. They were all greatly pleased to see how easily he did it. And after the scarecrow had gone down from his back, the lion sprang across the ditch again. Dorothy thought she would go next, so she took Toto in her arms and climbed on the lion's back, holding tightly to his mane with one hand. The next moment it seemed as if she were flying through the air, and then before she had time to think about, she was safe on the other side. The lion went back a third time and got the Tin Woodman, and then they all sat down for a few moments to give the beast a chance to rest, for his great leap had made his breath short and he panted like a big dog that has been running too long. They found the forest very thick on the side, and it looked dark and gloomy. After the lion had rested, they started along the road of yellow bricks, silently wondering, each in his own mind, if ever they would come to the end of the woods and reach the bright sunlight again, or sunshine. To add to their discomfort, they soon heard strange noises in the depth of the forest, and the lion whispered to them that it was this part of the country that the Kalidas lived. What are Kalidas? Asked the girl. They are monstrous beasts with bodies like bears and heads like tigers, replied the lion, and with claws so long and sharp that they could tear me into two as easy as I could kill it. Toto, I am terribly afraid of Kalidas. I am not surprised that you are, returned Dotty. They must be dreadful beasts. The lion was about to reply when suddenly they came to another gulf across the road. But this one was so broad and deep that the lion knew at once that he could not leap it across. So they sat down to consider what they should do, and after serious thought, the scarecrow said, "Here is a great tree, standing close to the ditch. If the Tin Woodman can chop it down so that it will fall to the other side, we can walk across it easily." "That is a first-rate idea," said the lion. "One would almost suspect you had brains in your head instead of straw." The woodman set to work at once, and so sharp was his axe that the tree was soon chopped nearly through. The lion put his strong front legs against the tree and pushed with all his might, and slowly the big tree tripped and fell with a crash across the ditch, with its top branches on the other side. They had just started to cross this queer bridge when a sharp growl made them all look up, and to their horror, they saw running towards them two great beasts with the bodies like bears and head like tigers. "They are Kalidas," said the cowardly lion, beginning to tremble. "Quick!" cried the scarecrow. "Let us cross over." So Dotty went first, holding Toto in her arms. The Tin Woodman followed, and the scarecrow came next. The lion, although he was certainly afraid, turned to face the Kalidas, and then he gave a loud and terrible roar. That Dorothy screamed, and the scarecrow fell over backward, while even the fierce beast stopped short and looked at him in surprise. But seeing they were bigger than the lion, and remembering that there were two of them and only one of him, the Kalidas again rushed forward, and the lion crossed over the tree and turned to see what they would do next. Without stopping an instant, the fierce beasts also began to cross the tree, and the lion said to Dorothy, "We are lost, for they will surely tear us to pieces with their sharp claws. But stand close behind me, and I will fight them as long as I am alive." "Wait a minute," called the scarecrow. He had been thinking what was the best to be done, and now he asked the woodman to chop away the end of the tree that rested on their side of the ditch. The Tin Woodman began to use his axe at once, and just as the two Kalidas were nearly across, the tree fell with a crash into the gulf, carrying the ugly, snarling brutes with it, and both were dashed to pieces on the sharp rocks at the bottom. Well, said the cowardly lion, drawing a long breath of relief, I see we are going to live a little while longer. And I am glad of it, for it must be a very uncomfortable thing not to be alive. Those creatures frighten me so badly that my heart is beating yet. Ah, said the Tin Wood sadly, I wish I had a heart to beat. This adventure made the travelers more anxious than ever to get out of the forest, and they walked so fast that Dorothy became tired and had to ride on the lion's back. To their great joy, the trees became thinner the further they advanced, and in the afternoon they suddenly came upon a broad river flowing swiftly just before them. On the other side of the water, they could see the road of yellow brick running through a beautiful country with green meadows dotted with bright flowers and all the roads bordered with trees hanging full of delicious fruits. They were greatly pleased to see the delightful country before them. Thank you, students.